I've always wanted to paint this picture that we, like Caesar's wife, are beyond reproach. We are the countries that are supposed to tell the world what to do. We are the ones that are the home of this, or the homes of these institutions, whether it's Transparency International, all these non-governmental organizations whose claim to fame is that they look for faults everywhere and to characterize administrations which they call regimes as being corrupt. And this is the kind of narrative that they wanted to push. They wanted to push a narrative that to ensure that Russia is besmirched. They characterize every administration that is seen to be pro-Moscow as corrupt. And they did that very effectively. And riding on the crest of that propaganda, Zelensky then rose to power, as I've already indicated, rising to power on the basis that we are going to fight corruption. But we all know that corruption is alive and well in all societies. That is the reality. It's just the degree that varies from one society to the other. And in certain societies, it is the exception rather than the rule. In certain societies, it is the rule rather than the exception. So when Zelensky came out as this messiah who was going to liberate Ukraine from the chains of Russia, and the only way to do is to cut the umbilical cord and to join the European Union and ultimately to join NATO. He was then projected in the manner that normally Europe does. When Europe wants to hoist people to a certain level, they do a number of things. They propagandize, they characterize you as holy. Sometimes they give you awards, and the Nobel Peace Prize is now being used quite frequently in this regard. They give you accolades across, and you get interviews at BBC, at CNN, and all those media outlets. And once you do that, you then begin to get good press. And once that happens, the population is also in many ways shepherded into one direction. And Zelensky was a beneficiary of that kind of propagandization, and ultimately, of course, started changing his rhetoric. And the rhetoric is, we are moving away from the Russian bear, we are going to Europe, and we are going to be part of Europe. We are going to look to the Brussels administration, we are going to look to NATO for our defense, and all these in breach of an understanding that the former countries which belong to the Soviet Union in that sphere would not be sucked into the NATO arrangement. So understood in that context, Zelensky had to be depicted as white as wool in order to ensure that his opponents were as red as crimson in terms of corruption. And that, in my view, is what was made known to the world. That is what the world believed, and I'm using the word world very loosely. And ultimately, we are now discovering that what was sold is not what was bought. And that is why we see the resignations now, and the accusations are corruption of the mega kind. You know, somebody once told me not too long ago that lies take the lift, the truth takes the stairs. And that is exactly what has happened. They had this loud voice that we had brought to Ukraine, this white as wool individual. They are fighting a country that is expansionist. Russia wants to extend and is going to use its military might to decimate the entire Europe, and that the Russian administration is corrupt. We saw their hand in an American election. We see their hand in Belarus. We see their hands in the neighborhood. But now, confronted as they are with smoking gun, they are tongue-tied. It's only the German chancellor who has said something, saying we should not have corruption in Ukraine. Macron, silent for the moment. Kashtama, silent for the moment. Ursula von der Leyen, silent for the moment. But I'm quite certain that they will issue some pro forma statement, if only to tell the world we are concerned. But they are now beginning to realize, if they did not know already, that indeed they were running and supporting a scheme that was from day one characterized by corruption and underhand deals, and that the war actually facilitates it. Remember, you are buying weaponry. Remember, you are buying provisions. You remember that war in itself is an industry, and they only look the other way when the accusations or when the fingers are pointing in the direction that they want them to point. But now, the chicken, in a manner of speaking, have come home to roost. You know, whenever I hear that the West is speaking about values, I always wonder which values. These people who ran slavery, these people who ran in Latin America, in Eastern Europe, is kept in the West. So when they talk about values, we must look at them and say, who are you to pontificate? Who are you to tell the world what the world should do? Who are you who are so culturally arrogant to tell the world what the world should do and must not do? So they can talk about their values all they want, but we know that mega corruption is alive and well. And when we remove that veneer of hypocrisy, we'll then be able to confront the West in the manner that we should. And once we are liberated of those illusions, then we will be able to confront the situation. They are now finding it very difficult to support their project, because there is a sense in which the war in Ukraine is a proxy war. And that is why every attempt at midwifing a peace process is being torpedoed by the European powers. You never know, and you can never say never. You know, the European powers are very interesting. If you look at history, they can lift you. And if your sell-by date in their view has passed, they begin to undermine you. They begin to reveal information that they knew existed all along. So it's a question of timing. Remember that the legitimacy of the Zelensky administration has been called into question because an election was not held during the due date. Perhaps they are now beginning to hold the view that Zelensky has run his course and it is the time for Zelensky to leave. And you can see the timing is very significant, that the Americans appear to be moving very close towards resolution of this conflict in some way. And Zelensky on his part appears to be responding to the entreaties of the Trump administration. But the appetite for the continuation of the war in Europe is high. For that reason, perhaps they are looking for somebody who will not do tango with the Trump administration and therefore by extension the Putin administration in Moscow. You never know. But remember, in saying this, I'm swimming in the sea of speculation. I'm sure that even within Ukraine, they are wondering who is Putin.